we're going to go over the split tool, the clip tool, and the trim tool. Okay, split tool is the little knife or L. The trim tool is the little finger with scissors or shift option L, and the clip tool is option C. Okay, so here's some lines here, and I'm going to do option L, which is the, nope, press the wrong key, shift option L, which is the trim right here, and I can see there's two modes to that. So I can either trim all modes, see how I don't have anything selected, and hovering over highlights those objects, or if I want to only trim the selected objects, I can go shift option L, and then it trims the entire line, right? Instead of just trimming the selection, or it trims the entire selection. Okay. Whereas if I use just the objects, it only is going to trim the intersecting lines. Now, if for instance, I don't want I just want to keep these. Oh, there's another way of doing things as well. If I want to delete both sections, I have to click twice, okay? So there might be, and this, if I want to get rid of all of these, this is actually quite time consuming. What's happening, so that actually takes quite a few steps. So there's more efficient ways of doing that. For instance, I can go into my split tool. Now there's split tool, there's by point mode, there's line split mode, and then there's line and trim mode. So by point mode, I'm just going to click and I'm going to split at that object. It splits it in two lines at that point. I can also do by line mode, and then it's going to split those objects in multiple pieces along that line. I can also split by line and trim, and so I'm going to draw my line, and then there's a second click. I can see it gives me this hand and these arrows. So I'm going to click towards the direction I want to keep. So for instance, if I wanted to use this as a split line, I can say, oh, I want to keep all these ends. So I do so in that way. Okay, so that's the split tool. I can also, and the trim tool is very easy. It's just clicking. It only gets rid of those sections between intersecting lines. Now the clip tool I can also use. So I can use, there's exclusion mode, inclusion mode, and split mode. And then there's different modes for drawing. So if, for instance, I wanted to draw, I have to select the objects first. And then I go option C, and then I draw that. It's going to clip within the marquee because I'm doing the exclusion mode and I'm doing the rectangular mode. I can also do a polygon mode, for instance, and I can use, this is good, for doing angles. So now it's going to clip and trim all those pieces of the selected objects within that marquee, and I use the polygon mode to do so. Okay. There's another way which I won't go over right now. Does that all make sense? And so then also if I wanted to draw within my circle, I don't have it selected, so I have to then go and draw. And that's what I get, okay? So there's the split tool, which has three modes, the point, line, and trim. So we can use that. There's also even more ways of doing things. I can select this line. Actually, I'm going to bring it to the foreground, so Command F. And then I'm going to Command T, and that's going to trim my objects. So all the objects that line crosses. So I can see these are all split because this line, I made sure it was in the foreground. So I did Command F, brought it to the foreground, and then Command T, which is up here, which is trim, and it went trim and cut all the pieces that it crossed. Any questions with those tools?
Did you record that?
I did, I am.
Okay.
Yeah. So please do give those ones especially a try for Wednesday.